Hello everyone, it's Curtis Watson, back in Railway Empire. When we last left off, oh hold on, I gotta pause real fast so this doesn't go away. We started a free mode campaign in which we are constructing our own railroad, the Southwestern Pacific, just to see how well we can do with serving the, the Southwestern Pacific region of the United States. And we took a little bit of a detour, and instead of the south, we immediately started building north, which is fine because it's gonna help lay the foundation for our future victories in the proper territory that we're supposed to be operating in. We got as far as Eugene, Oregon in the last video, all the way from Los Angeles, and as far east as Kingman and Carson City, Nevada. I don't know which one of those is farther east, but that's as far as we got there. And in this one, we're going to be trying to focus on the south, like San Diego and Yuma, and just that general area. And Los Angeles just informed me that they are growing, so we now have the opportunity to build our own industry there to continue supplying and continuing to make it grow. So that is what we're going to do now. Except we don't have much money, so that's a real inopportune time for that to happen. We could put in our tailors, because we have the weaving factory in Reading. We could ship fabric down here, but that costs a lot of money. And we could put in a brewery, because that would help. We just ship in wheat from the north, and that would solve Los Angeles and San Diego's problems, demand for alcohol. So I can only hope a brewery is established by someone else, because we can't afford to do it. So we'll just kind of let that go, and then we'll actually hold on. Engine slow. We have a connection bonus there. You know what? Why don't we start off by doing that? Finish off a little bit more in the northern region, and then we'll focus on the southern region. And like I said, we're in the north, so snow is making things very difficult for our trains, but that's fine. It's not the end of the world. Not great, but it's not terrible either. It's what's keeping Trisha Jones over here in check. Okay, now we can focus on the south. Let's quickly remind ourselves of our tasks. We need to collect 5 cities, each with a population of at least 57,000 people, and 6 cities with a population of at least 60,000 people. We have about 10 years to do both of those, and really we just have to focus on 6 cities with a population of at least 60,000 each. So that'll be our biggest challenge this video. Reading is growing pretty fast. You know, let's do a head count here. 40,000 in Los Angeles, 30,000 in San Francisco, a little over, 65,000 in Sacramento. That's good. Actually, we can put something in here. We'll put a university in. That way we can get more innovation points. That'll come in handy. Reading, 70,000. So that's two of the biggest ones that we need. Carson City, that one's pretty small. So Sacramento, Reading, and Los Angeles are my immediate candidates for biggest cities. We'll have to focus on southern cities from here on out. San Diego, what have we got for that? They need wheat and logs and alcohol just like Los Angeles. Speaking of which, have they... transportation fee by freight car, per freight car. Let's do that. And I think Trish is low on funds because she hasn't.
You can certainly make good use of that.
Yes, I can. She certainly hasn't been fighting me on the front of auctions lately. But if some random AI would quickly build... Gosh darn it, we're really getting a lot of employees. If some random AI would quickly build a brewery in Los Angeles, that would help our case significantly. Meanwhile, we'll focus on building to Yuma next. And the heck, there's a log industry there. We could probably not have to worry about the one up by Reading. That might save one of our trains, which is currently costing more money than it's making us. So we'll build our station in Yuma. And a maintenance building. And how's our route looking? It's going to be expensive and cover a lot of rough territory. That's a lot of money right there. We can shave it down quite a bit. Okay, 250,000 is going to be, looks like our maximum limit here, so we got a ways to go. We'll just let the game go for a few minutes and accrue some money. And there's our connection. And then we'll just kind of set up what we need as we go. And actually, we have a Los Angeles to San Diego train already. So we can just add Yuma onto that list. Going across a nice trestle on our way into Yuma here. It's a heck of a view. Carson City is growing, that's good. We'll go ahead and check out what kind of opportunities we have there. Real fast. Has anyone built that brewery in LA yet? Why did you build a furniture industry? Ah. Pick up a train. Come on. Pick up a train. Alright. You're useless. Wood breeding, you are officially... off my list. I don't like you anymore. There. Cleans up our route a bit, I think. This might soon become our first double track completely through mainline. Why don't we build to Bodie? Beat Trisha there. There we go. And that'll help just a little bit. I know it'll at least help with our rail line distance goal. What is that goal again? 5,922 miles. We're about halfway there. Bodie's my backup plan in case we can't get breweries in LA. We'll ship alcohol in from Bodie. We have to import alcohol from Bodie. Well, I might be able to build a secondary track from Sacramento to LA through the valley here, and that might shave some time off. That could come in handy to my express line to Eugene. I guess we could connect that logging industry to Yuma. Actually, no, we'll connect Tucson first, and then that logging industry. We'll put in a terminal station here.
I see you've placed new stations on the playing field.
This will be kind of our grand junction. And to connect to Yuma is a lot. that's gonna almost bankrupt us, but we can do it. We'll just let it go a few minutes and get the necessary funds. Alright, so we're all connected up with Tucson. We've got at least one good segment of our southern main line taken care of. And here we have our first load of logs to Los Angeles. I've added some passing trucks up ahead. Let's see if we can get that worthless furniture factory to hold up its end of the bargain. We still need to find a solution to the whole wheat problem. I think probably building from Green Farm would be our best bet.
I could have put money on it that I'd already connected this business to a station.
Okay, here's our route from Campbell Farm. I'm sorry, wait a minute. Oh, I see. That's a double station. Well, I'm at Campbell Farm because that's where we get the wheat from to LA. That'll help on that front. And relatively cheaply, I may add. Alright, well now we finally got wheat supplied to Los Angeles. But they still don't have alcohol, and that's where a connection with Bodie comes in. So we're going to go ahead and connect with Bodie there. And this will be a mixed train from Bodie to Los Angeles. We'll put an Atlantic on it for speed. We might have to expand the station. Yeah, we'll do that. And off we go for Los Angeles. I think now might be a good time to invest in the Valley main line, so we can transport a couple things that we need to places where we need them. Yeah, we can put a warehouse over here, and that'll help us deliver goods to Los Angeles. 180,000. Okay, we'll just let it go for a few minutes and then we'll build it later.
A few moments later.
Alright, here we go. Waited a little longer and I got a lot of money now, so we'll build that route and go ahead and link it up with this route up here. Los Angeles is growing again. That's good. Up over 60,000. Hey, that's more progress. Sweet. Meanwhile, there's a couple really enticing research things to unlock here. Reduce construction costs of bridges by 40%. Reduce construction costs of all buildings by 15%. I think we're going to do that one. That's gonna come in handy someday soon. Alright, hello everyone. I've got some explaining to do. So, everything you've watched so far in this video, that was recorded back in April of 2021. It is now December of 2021. I'm just getting back on the recording uh, wagon because I took all that time off for school. And I completely let myself slack on finishing the Southwestern Pacific campaign. Um, so, what I need to do is refamiliarize myself with what I've done, and I came up with some new options for um, finishing the game. I have played it over the course of that long 8 months, but I haven't worked on the Southwestern Pacific game. However, what I have done is figure out how to grow cities up to 60,000. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I've done that. And while I've kind of drove myself into a corner on the Southwestern Pacific, I can still do something similar and try to make it work. I still have a chance, and I'm not going to let it slip through my fingers. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I've been doing all those months. Alright, so here's my test game. It's in the same exact map as the Southwestern Pacific campaign. Los Angeles is our home city as always. And real fast, I just wanted to take a look at everything I've done. Sacramento, our population in Sacramento is over 103,000. Our population in San Francisco is 93,000. Our population in Los Angeles, 67,000. San Diego has 99,000 people. Yuma has 95,000 people, and Tucson has 69,000. Although it's kind of dripping a little because that one's really on the far edge of my network and is not getting all the supplies it needs as quickly as it needs. But that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cities that I have 60,000 people in, which is what I need for my game. And I did this, you can see, in about 10 years. Which I don't have that long to do it. Actually, no. You know what? I think I did this in about 7 years in-game, which is about the time I have in my actual Southwestern Pacific campaign to do it. So, how did I do this? It all revolves around this right here. This warehouse in the middle of the desert. So I have it set up to collect cows for meat industries, logs, wheat, sugar, fabric, and fruit. And I have several trains. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. If we go down to the bottom of the list, we'll see all my warehouse trains. I have one train from the warehouse to Los Angeles. That brings the fabric to the warehouse because in this game, Los Angeles is home to our weavers. Warehouse 1 to San Diego, that doesn't have anything in the moment, but I can take a look at it. It brings wheat and cows to San Diego because you see we have breweries and a meat market and tailors, which brings fabric from Los Angeles to San Diego so we can make clothing. Warehouse 1 to Tucson. We actually have 2 trains to Tucson because we have a lot of stock in that warehouse, and Tucson needs a lot of supplies. Same thing for Yuma. A lot of supplies, a lot of demand. And all these industries are fed by one is fed by a city, but we also get sugar from Stark Preserve, fruit from Joshua Farm, cattle from Adams Cattle. What else do we get? Wheat and logs. We get wheat from here at Campbell Farm, and it's a little bit of a stretch, but we get logs from Taylor Logging all the way out here west of Tucson. So all of those places feed into the warehouse, and the warehouse trains all go to these 4 cities down at the south end of the map, and together, with trains traveling between the cities themselves, that is how I get the population up. Now, to someone who is experienced with this game, such a setup should be obvious and natural. But to me, it was not. So, that is what I spent all my time doing, getting good at this game, figuring out how to set up my tracks. This is actually pretty good here, except for this ugly little loop. And that's just because I have trains going to San Diego from this region, and they can't, I don't want them to have to turn around in Los Angeles. Purely a space-saving measure, even though there's a lot of space there that we... Never mind. But I also had this line here. I had this intention of a bunch of express trains bypassing the warehouse track because it's really crowded there. But really, only this train here uses it. And it's not even one we really need for the warehouse supply chain. But this one here, which connects to one of our two southern main lines, also a congestion easing measure. It connects there. There's kind of a Y here for trains that go different directions. There's the Milk Place, Norris Ranch, that goes to several cities, and those tracks there. This area here is a real mess, and it's no better in my Southwestern Pacific game, but I think we can work with it. That's going to be the hard part, getting things from a warehouse down here to all these cities. Now, in my Southwestern Pacific game, the warehouse that I have is up here, which, as you can see, there is no warehouse here. This is a junction point. So I'm thinking, going forward in my game, that I could build a warehouse right here. It's pretty flat here, actually, just north of Yuma. I'd have to build a pretty expensive bridge to cross the river there, but it'd be pretty out of the way. We could easily link it up to a 2 or 4 track main line next to Yuma, and even put in a Y if we wanted to, or if we align it north to south, we could have one track going this way and the other going that way, and that would more or less put us in position to supply those cities. Now, I also noticed that Adams Cattle, since it's right next to Warehouse 1, we got a lot of cows, okay? And this train spends more time than almost any other one just driving back and forth without any cargo, even though the farm here is producing and the cities are consuming. It's just that good. But I might find a way to work around that. Or heck, we could even just connect Allen breeding, and that'll supply at least these 2 cities here. Or this doesn't have a name. Thomas Ranch. Thomas Ranch could supply Tucson. Allen breeding could supply Yuma. Adams Cattle, San Francisco, or San Diego, and maybe Hill Fattening could supply Los Angeles. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But that's kind of my idea what I want to do. And of course I need to connect Flagstaff and Kingman to Milford and Salt Lake City, because that's one of my personal goals. I have accomplished that in this game. I've connected all the cities to some degree, but only the cities in California and the South are where I wanted to be. In this game, Redding, which unlike my Southwestern Pacific game, is very low on population. It only has 37,000. But, let's see, I forget. I think Sacramento and Redding in my Southwestern Pacific game are the big hitters. And I think Los Angeles, too. I think it just got over 60,000. Again, forgive me, it's been like 8 months. But I can get San Francisco up, and I'd like San Diego. That would bring us to 5, and then either Yuma or Tucson. Probably Yuma would be better. So, that is my plan going forward, and let's get this done. And just for the heck of it, this is another game I started just for fun. I'll show you what I got going on here. Not so much all this, because this is where I first got the idea for a warehouse in the game. Actually, that's not it. Here's the warehouse. This is where it is. And I think there's another one over here. Yeah, that's where I set it up the first time. But let's see, what was it I want to show? Oh, here. This is where everything kind of connects. This is where I got the idea. Those lines come in here, and the other lines kind of branch out to meet it. It made a lot more sense in my head. But here, this is a much better system. We got a double track Y connecting to the double track main lines, and then two more main lines out here that have nothing to do with that Y, and just strictly connect the cities, even though they connect into just two main lines here. That's just because Yuma doesn't have a very big station. But I kind of like this setup here. This kind of branches off and primarily heads to Flagstaff, but there's more of a branch line to Tucson. I don't like that bridge though. That's very expensive. But that's an idea here. This is ideally what I'd like to see between LA and San Diego. But we go north here. This I really like. San Francisco. We've got our normal, I like to do this kind of curvy route along the coastal mountain range to Sacramento. But in this game, since I had infinite money, I built a bridge north over the bay and built another big junction here. And this is actually a much better flow between Redding, Sacramento, and San Francisco. That I like to do, but bridges are very expensive, and in my Southwestern Pacific game, I don't really have that much money at this point in time. But that's another thing. I've recently learned that passengers and mail are the big money earners in the game. And that feels like something I should have picked up on a long time ago, but I do know about it now, and in my Southwestern Pacific game there will be a priority will be connecting to those cities, getting those passenger trains running. And that'll help me build up some cash as I begin working on what I like to call my desert freight corridor. Alright, and with that said, let's get back into the proper Southwestern Pacific game. Alright, Elko just surpassed 60,000. That's a really good sign. I put a museum in there, they'll be satisfied for a while, which means I'm back to having only one more city to go. Sacramento, you're my best chance. But it's not doing so hot right now because for some reason the trains aren't coming in. So if I could just get really lucky and have all the trains that need to come to Sacramento come to Sacramento right now, that might finally accomplish this goal. Oh, we're so close. 200 people. Come on! Come on! Yes! Woohoo! Ah. Oh my god. Guys, you have no idea. For the better part of the year, that task has been driving me crazy. It's just a video game, but oh my god, it's so stressful. Oh, I'm so glad it's over. Okay. Whew. What do we have left? We got two things left. We need an express connection between Los Angeles and Eugene. We already got the train. It's just not getting there fast enough. I'm going to build its own track so it can just go there. And then connect Los Angeles to 36 rural businesses. We only have 13 left, so we just need to start connecting things up. First, we'll start with the Los Angeles to Eugene track. Okay, you know what, everyone? For whatever reason, this express one just isn't going to work out. Believe me, I've been trying for an hour. I can get it to go. But you know what? I'm willing to call it good. Because, frankly, I just want to get this video finished and out. So we can finally complete the saga of the Southwestern Pacific. And honestly, I think I'm burned out on Railway Empire now. We didn't actually take over the enemy company. But you know what? That's fine. Because we did grow 6 cities to a population of 60,000. We did it. And you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy with it. So forget what the game says, we're going to call this a success. So, thank you for joining me on this successful Railway Empire scenario Let's Play, everybody. I've been Curtis Watson. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.